How do you decide whether your life is going well? It is by how successful you are at work. Did you get promoted? How much money do you make? Or how many of your goals have you achieved? We often judge our lives by what we have accomplished, especially when you are a busy father in your 30s or 40s. Life can get overwhelming. You have work, you have your family, you have responsibilities. And sometimes you feel like you should be doing more. But what if the reason you don't feel satisfied is that you were measuring success in only one way? Today, I want to share an idea that might change the way you look at success. And surprisingly, I learned this lesson from something very simple: Japanese school lunch. School lunch? You might be wondering what lunch has to do with success. But I think there's something surprisingly meaningful hidden in Japanese school lunch. In many Japanese elementary schools, students don't simply receive their food and eat by themselves. They have the responsibilities. For example, students take turns being responsible for serving lunch. The food from the entire class is bought in large containers. Then, several students work together to serve the food to their classmates. Some students prepare the tables. Some serve the food. Others help clean up after lunch. In other words, lunch doesn't happen until everyone plays their part. And they do this almost every school day. I don't think this is just about eating lunch. I think children are learning sometimes much bigger. I have a role to play. If you are responsible for serving lunch but don't do your job, your classmates have a problem. But if you do your part, everyone can enjoy lunch together. In other words, children learn something very important through this simple routine. What I do affects the people around me. And there's another interesting part of Japanese school lunch. Everyone usually eats the same meal. At the University cafeteria, for example, you might have several choices. You can pick whatever you want, and that's great. But elementary school lunch is different. The menu is already decided. Everyone prepares the same meal, and everyone eats it together. There is a Japanese expression: we ate from the same pot. It describes people who have shared experiences, walked through things together, and built a strong sense of connection. I think school lunch can create that kind of connection. It's actually a little similar to camping in Japan. When Japanese people go camping, they often cook together. Maybe someone starts a fire, someone else cuts the vegetables, another person cooks the food, and then everyone sits down and eats the same meal together. You're not doing everything by yourself. You are creating something together. And that's part of the fun. I think experiences like this may be one reason why Japanese people often place a strong value on teamwork and organizations. Of course, I'm not saying that every Japanese person is the same, but from the young age, we repeatedly experience something at school. I'm not alone. I have a role to play. What I do affects the people around me. And I think those experiences can influence how we work as adults. Because in reality, most of our work isn't completed by one person. Their managers, their coworkers, their clients. their family members. Everyone has their own role, and those roles come together to create something bigger. So, I want to suggest one way of thinking to busy fathers like us. Don't only look at how successful you are as an individual. Of course, achieving your own goals is important, but that's not the only thing that matters. Try asking yourself, what did I contribute to my team today? What did I do for my family? Did I make someone else's day a little easier? Maybe you didn't accomplish much today. Maybe you made a mistake at work. Maybe things didn't go the way you wanted. But perhaps someone was helped because of something you did. Perhaps something small you did for your family made their day a little better. Perhaps you encouraged someone and that person was able to keep going because of your words. I think those things count as success too. We often focus on what we get, but I think it's also important to ask, what did I give? You don't have to get everything right every day. You don't have to be the best every day. And it's okay to fail sometimes. It's okay to have days when things don't go the way you planned. On those days, if you can still tell yourself, I'm contributing to my team, I'm contributing to my family, I'm part of something bigger than myself. Maybe you can feel a little better about yourself. So today, I want you to ask yourself one simple question. Don't just ask, what did I accomplish today? Also ask, did I help someone today? Maybe fulfillment doesn't come only from how successful we are as individuals. Maybe it also comes from knowing that we contributed to something bigger than ourselves. And I think one of the places where Japanese children learn this lesson every day is something as simple as school lunch. So today, don't just focus on your own success. Remember that you are part of something bigger. And remember, you don't have to win every day to make a difference. Let's keep going together. Thank you. Bye.